Good morning, boys and girls. You're welcome to this session, that is Common Course A01, Transactions, Essential English Language Skills. Module 4, the last session I told you, we have come to the different sessions on Module 4, Speaking Skills. And in this particular session, we are going to have a revision of Module 4 Speaking Skills. Now, speaking is one of the most basic skills in communication. In a situation like that of Kerala, speakers of English need to be able to speak in a wide range of contexts. They need to develop the ability to manage functional exchanges. If you remember, Scott Thornbury, speaking, is a language expert. He says that speaking has two basic functions: transactional and interpersonal. Purpose of transactional function is to convey information and facilitate the exchange of goods of services. The primary purpose of interpersonal function is to establish and maintain social relations, and these are the examples for interpersonal and interpersonal function. The purpose of transactional function and purpose of interpersonal function. This module, as I told you, fourth module, speaking skills, is divided into two parts. First one is everyday transactions. Everyday transactions is the English we use in order to communicate with our fellow beings in our day-to-day life or everyday life. That is what is known as everyday transactions. This particular part, the first part of fourth module, that is everyday transactions, is divided into 7 frames. And part 2, academic communication, is divided into 3 frames. Academic communication is the English we use for academic purposes. For example, participating in a debate, participating in a group discussion, and giving a presentation. Giving presentations are very important, as you know. Now, frame 1, that is frame 1 of part 1, is sounding very polite. Asking questions and replying to them, we do it every day. Asking questions and replying to them. We ask questions to seek help, to get information, direction, to get some money, etc. We have to pay meticulous attention in choosing the words while asking these questions and while replying to these questions. Mastery of the most appropriate expressions for these is very, very important. Taking part in conversations in different contexts demands from us asking questions and replying to them. Now, when somebody asks a question, we answer with with a smiling face and also answer them. The answer should be, or the language that we use in answering a question should be pleasing to the ears of the listener. That is what we have to be careful about. Now, frame 2 in speaking skills, part 1, personal or transactional, everyday conversation. Frame 2 deals with giving opinions and preferences. Now, polite questions for situations are polite questions in giving opinions and preferences. In our everyday life situations, when we have to express our agreement, disagreement with the views and actions of people, we may have to use very, very selective phrases and expressions in giving your opinion and preferences. I beg to differ is a beautiful expression to show that you don't agree with the person. I beg to differ. You can say that again. Now, these are the important aspects of giving opinions and preferences. Frame 3 is about taboos. I told you, remember what are taboos? Oxford Dictionary gives the definition for taboos: a cultural or religious custom that does not allow people to do, use, or talk about a particular thing as people find it offensive or embarrassing. In speaking English, conversational taboos are ways of speaking that are forbidden by social custom and etiquette. Taboos are something which is forbidden by our social customs and etiquette that should not be used in our conversation. That is taboos. And taboos are very, very important, that you have to be very careful that you do not use taboos in your everyday conversation. Frame 4 is, the situation is encouraging and comforting people. Now, what is this encouraging and comforting people? Now, for example, use for encouraging. A friend whose father is in hospital. Now, don't worry, your father will get well soon. Don't worry, your father will get well soon. This is how you comfort someone. In the same way, a friend who has lost her job. Hey, don't worry, man. With your qualifications, you will be able to find a better job. This is a kind of comforting and encouraging a person while speaking to someone in English. A friend who is having family issues. Oh, who has no family issues? Everyone has some issue or the other in their family. So don't worry, you will be able to overcome that very soon. Now, the next frame 5, is making suggestions and regrets. Making suggestions and regrets. Now, making suggestions means expressing our opinion about what should be done. Regrets are things you think should have been done, but the chances for them to happen now are over. So there are a lot of good expressions, good phrases that can be used in making suggestions and regrets. Frame 6 is the phrases and expressions that can be used in appreciating somebody, complimenting somebody, and guessing. Now, say somebody has helped you in preparing for the exam. and because of his or her help, you have come out with very good marks in the exam. So you appreciate the help rendered by the friend. So I appreciate, you can use the word appreciate. Now, I consider it important, I consider it very useful that you gave me a timely help so that I was able to score well in the examination. That is appreciating. Complimenting somebody, complimenting somebody where somebody has come out with the flying colors in the exams or a competitive exam, or somebody has achieved, or somebody has been selected for a good job in a good company. So you compliment them, congratulate them. And also guessing, from the context you guess something and express that. All these are dealt with in frame 6: appreciating, complimenting, and guessing. Frame 7, the last frame of part 1, is how to use English while telephoning, how to speak over a telephone. Making telephone calls is a challenging task these days, because with the advancement, with the development of information communication technology, telephone has an important work to do, because many a time interviews are held over phone. Your employer speaks to you over the prospective employer speaks to you over a phone, and he tries to assess your ability to communicate while listening to you while you talk over a telephone. A learner of English has to master phrases and expressions used while talking on phone, especially while seeking a job in corporate world. This frame, that is frame 7, the last frame of part 1, this frame tries to familiarize the learner to know the unwritten linguistic rules and conventions of telephoning. I think I spoke to you in detail about that particular aspect of using the language, how you have to be careful in using the language while talking over a telephone. That was the end of part 1 of the 4th module, and part 2 of the 4th module deals with academic communications, academic transactions. Academic transactions means the English we use, the speaking English while we use the language for academic purposes. For example, opining, presenting, and summarizing. All these are included in discussion skills. So frame 1 in part 2 of module 4 deals with discussion skills. In discussion skills, we have opining, presenting, and summarizing. Discussions and debates form the main chunk of academic communication, in which participants are expected to express their opinions, justify their standpoints, to voice their agreements and disagreements with others in a polite way, and summarize the main points before concluding a presentation. This is very, very, very important. Learning the specific and polished expressions used in discussions and debates and making them an active part of your language will definitely play a vital role in academic success and finding a great career. Group discussions and debate sessions have become an unavoidable component of screening the candidate for any well-paid jobs, and that is why this particular frame that is discussion skills, the expressions and phrases that could be used, that should be learned how to use them, is part of the part 2 of module 4, namely academic communication. Frame 2 deals with presentation skills. Now, presentations have also become very important these days. Presenting information clearly and effectively is a very important skill to get your message or opinion across, and these skills are required in almost every field of activity, academic activity today. Clarity is the key factor for effective presentation. The main function of academic presentation is to provide information. You are playing the role of an information provider and not to entertain. And of course, as I told you, you become an expert in presenting while your presentation is judiciously mixed with elements of entertainment. That is why some presenters are more interesting than some others, because they know this harmonious blending of clarity of what you present along with some elements of entertainment or humor in that particular topic or subject which you are presenting. Presentations are to be well planned using signposts and language signals. I talked to you about these two phrases. Signposts are an advanced view of the organization of the whole presentation, and language signals are words and phrases that show how presentation progresses in accordance with its aims. That is frame 2 of part 2 academic communication in module 4 speaking skills. And now coming to the penultimate session that we were doing is frame 3, that is debating skills. Frame 3, debating skills in academic communication. Academic frame 3, debating skills. In this particular, it's actually a repetition of what we were discussing. It involves, debating skills involves agreeing, interrupting, clarifying and compromising. And as I told you in the last session, both in everyday life transactions and academic environments, we need to agree or disagree with others' views. Sometimes we involve in hot debates on various issues. Expressing our assent to an issue is easy, but to dissent from others' views is difficult, because in such cases we are required to give a sound explanation for our stand. One has to be very careful in choosing words and expressions judiciously to present your standpoint clearly, and at the same time we have to guard against causing offense to the listeners. Now that is what I want to speak to you as a revision of module 4 speaking skills. I hope that the explanations given to me by these about 12, 13 plus 1, 7 plus 3, 10 plus 1 plus 1, 10 plus 12. These 12 sessions which I gave you on module 4 speaking skills will enable you to practice good speaking habits in English, which will enable you not only to answer the questions in your semester examination, as well as be good speakers of the language, so that in any field of activity that you aspire to be involved in, you will be able to do that with ease. And with this, I wish you all the best of luck in your examination and also in your future life. Thank you for listening to me. Have a good day. Stay safe. Stay home.